Welcome back to session 2 of the Road to Victory. This session, obviously, we're now east-west for the whole evening, and the first board I was faced with an initial problem, which is pretty common, whether I'm supposed to bid Michaels or just overcall with my two-suiter. Now, when you're 6'5", if you have 6 clubs and 5 hearts, there's a big risk in overcalling your clubs because you might get shut out of bidding your hearts. But when your 6-card suit is the higher suit, there's not nearly as much risk of that happening because later in the bidding you'll most likely be able to bid your second suit without forcing you to a higher level. For instance, if I overcall 2 hearts and it goes 4 spades, pass back to me, I can bid 5 clubs without affecting hearts as a possible contract. But if I had 6 clubs and 5 hearts and I overcalled 2 clubs and it went 4 spades, pass, now I'm in a terrible spot with my side 5-card suit. So in general, when I've got a good 6-card major, I don't bid Michaels, and so I did not bid Michaels with this hand. I went 2 hearts, pass, and Joel Q bid 2 spades, showing a limit raise or better in hearts. My opponent came in 3 diamonds. Now, when I saw this hand, I figured, hey, this hand's going to get to a high level pretty quickly. And so I thought maybe it's a good idea if I introduce my second suit to Joel so that he can make a decision later about whether we should be defending or declaring. Now, in retrospect, this wasn't a very good bid, but I bid 4 clubs, and we'll see why. When I bid 4 clubs, what I didn't think about was, which I definitely should have, was 4 clubs opened the door for South to support diamonds without committing to a sacrifice. So my 4 club bid saw a 4 diamond bid from my left-hand opponent, and as soon as that happened, I felt like sick to my stomach that I just let this guy in to support his partner, and now if they do get to 5 diamonds and it is right, then it's probably a disaster. So I wish I'd bid 4 hearts, and that really wasn't the only problem with my 4 club bid, was letting in the 4 diamond bid. So another issue is I might be showing Joel too strong of a hand. My 4 club bid, I really didn't know whether I was telling him, hey, this is our hand, or I was just saying, hey, this is my second suit, make a good decision. So we'll see how that comes into play later. So now when it goes 4 diamonds, my 4 club bid clearly committed us to playing in 4 hearts. We're not going to not play in 4 hearts once I bid 4 clubs. So Joel's situation here, his bid, he actually has 3 choices. He could pass, which doesn't preclude us getting to 4 hearts. We're still going to get to 4 hearts. So there should be a different meaning for pass, 4 hearts, or double. Double, to me, is just a defensive-oriented hand. I really want to defend. I don't want to bid 4 hearts. And so that's something he might do if he had like a singleton club and 4 diamonds, something like that. So the last 2 options are pass and 4 hearts. So at lower levels, we had the agreement that at low levels, pass would actually be encouraging our partner to bid on. So I'll give you an example auction would be 1 spade, double on my right, I bid 2 no trump Jordan, and they overcall 3 diamonds. Now pass would be an encouraging bid, and 3 spades would be our weakest bid. So I thought that this situation would be comparable, and so that would be our method, that if Joel had a good hand for bidding on, that he would pass, and if he didn't, then he would bid 4 hearts. If he had the weakest hand, he'd bid 4 hearts. So Joel bid 4 hearts, and now it went 5 diamonds. And now I was in this annoying spot where I really didn't know whether my 4 club bid set up a force. I don't think it should, but I was paranoid that it did. And so I made another terrible action. This board, it's amazing how quickly, when you make one bad bid, how things just start compounding on a board, and you really have to keep your focus not to let this happen. So I doubled 5 diamonds, and just to stop Joel from bidding again, even though I didn't have very good defense for 5 diamonds. And now it was my lead against 5 diamonds, and again, this was probably the board I made the most mistakes on in the whole event. My opening lead, I feel like, looking at my hand, there's a good chance Declare is going to try to rough spades and dummy. But most importantly, our tricks are going to be coming in clubs. So and there's a big risk that the clubs are going to go away on Declare's spades if Joel doesn't have good enough spades. So I should probably lead a club. I decided to lead the Ace of Hearts, and I kind of lucked out, and you'll see sort of how my whole bidding and story and lead turned into a big result for us, or not a big result, but helped save us. So Declare roughed the Ace of Hearts. So now I'm thinking Declare's shape is probably 5530, sorry, 5053 or 6052. So, and now he played a diamond to dummy and saw my queen, finessed a spade. He now played another diamond to dummy, and he finessed another spade. So now he knew my shape was 1615. So he played ace of spades, ditching a heart, and a spade and roughed it. Now he played another heart and roughed it. That was the second heart he's trumped in his hand. And he roughed his last spade. So now he was in a position where he knew my entire distribution. He knew that I had 3 clubs left and 1 heart. And unfortunately for Declare, he didn't really... I don't think he made a very good play here, but he thought there was a chance that... You'll see what happened. He played a heart, and then as soon as Joel played the king, he was like, his jaw dropped, and he was so upset with himself. What he had hoped to do was to play a heart, and if I had the king left, he could just throw away a club, and I would be end played to give him his king. So now what happened was he played a club out, and I was able to fly up with the jack, and we got 3 tricks. So it was lucky, but we still didn't get a very good board because our opponents found the good 5 diamond sacrifice. We had an easy make in 4 hearts, so it wasn't very much difference from his perspective whether he made it or went down 1. But we'll certainly, we weren't unhappy to write plus 100 on our scorecard. We didn't really know what percentage of the field we were going to actually sacrifice or not. The next board was, I had a normal 1 club opener. Again, I had 14 points, but nowhere close to an upgrade to 1 trump. I had no reason to upgrade. So I opened 1 club, and Joel responded a heart, and they intervened with 2 diamonds. And Joel and I played support doubles, so I got to double to show 3 card support in hearts. Now Joel bid 2 spades, and we had never talked about 2 spades, and this is something you definitely want to talk about with your partner. In my opinion, the normal way to play is it's a new suit and it's forcing. And so I raised to 3 spades, and it went all pass. Now, they led the ace of diamonds, and Joel had the following hand. So he did not mean 2 spades as forcing. He thought, in his mind, 2 spades was just a place to play. Now, I feel like that in a situation like this, when you haven't discussed something with partner, it's very important that you make the bid that you think everybody plays. Like, I'm going to assume that 2 spades means what the world thinks it means, not what Joel thinks it means. So Joel's 2 spade bid kind of threw me off a little bit. So we're in 3 spades, but it turns out, looking at our hands, being a level higher with spades as trumps really isn't that big of a deal because hearts doesn't look like a good perspective, a good prospect anyway. So this hand doesn't. There's not all that much to this hand. They cashed the ace of diamonds, and they cashed the king of diamonds, and the opponents showed a doubleton. So now they played a 3rd round of diamonds, and they roughed it. So now Joel thought North had 6 diamonds and probably some sort of 6-3-2-2, maybe 6-3-3-1. But since they overcalled 2 diamonds, thought that the ace of spades was up with North. So rather than playing spades in this sort of normal way of low to the queen, intending to play low to the 10, Joel started by playing low to the king. And now, when they won the ace of spades, they immediately played back a spade. So Joel's got, almost for sure, he's lost 3 tricks so far, and it looks like he's going to lose 2 hearts. And he really just has to guess where the jack of spades is. And he decided that he took a really long time, and I'm not entirely sure what his reasoning were, but I think he just thought that North was likely to have 6-3-2-2 when they didn't preempt with ace king jack 6 of diamonds, and so he flew up with the queen of spades and dropped the jack, and so now he was pretty much done for. There was one last chance that he could escape for making his contract. He played a heart. He quickly played a heart to the ace, and now if somebody had king doubleton and they didn't unblock it, or more legitimately, if somebody had king-queen doubleton and could not unblock it, now Joel would be able to cash all of his clubs, like he did, and since all the trumps are gone, now when he exits a heart, if the person with the king of hearts has no more hearts to play, they'll have to give him a rough and stuff and let him make it. And now again, we sort of survived a not-so-great partnership board because 2 hearts wasn't going to make anyhow, and that was a shaky start for our final session, but I don't think either of us were too worried about it. At least we got plus 100, and we survived both boards, and we're moving onwards.